Welcome everybody to Davis-Reid Alumni Gym on the campus of Georgetown College for a monster NAIA basketball doubleheader in the Mid-South Conference. We will start it off at the top of the hour with the women's battle, and the Georgetown College Tigers coming in number 8 in the nation. The 16-1 start is the best in program history. They have won 14 consecutive games by an average of 27.5 points. They will take on the number 7 Freed-Hardeman Lions, 17-1, 1-1 in the conference. Their O had to go on Thursday night. In fact, we are taking on here at Georgetown a pair of angry prides of Lions, as both Freed-Hardeman teams coming up I-75 off of losses on Thursday night to the University of the Cumberland's Patriots. So they are not in any mood to mess around here today in these top 10 battles. Freed-Hardeman was undefeated on the women's side at 17-0 until that 77-71 loss. They won 19 games all of last season. Not a bad year, but when you consider they've started off 17-0, it's a totally different story for the Lions under first-year head coach Abby Stutz. Interestingly enough, Abby is the younger sister of the men's coach, Drew Stutz. We'll talk a lot about the men's matchup later on, as it is a 1-versus-2 showdown. But let's get to the women's game. This is a clash of styles. Georgetown College women like to get out and go. They average 86.2 points per game under head coach Jeff Nickel. That is 6th in all of NAIA. They are also 6th with a 48% field goal percentage, and also 6th hitting from the three-point arc at 37.3%. They out-rebound their opponents by 6 per game. They allow an average of 61 points, and they hold their opponents to the lowest three-point percentage in all of NAIA at all of the Mid-South Conference at 25.1%. However, Freed-Hardeman will not allow that. If their stats are any indication, if their style of play through this first two-thirds of the season is any indication. Their offense, 69.6 points per game clip. They hit it 45% from the field, but they hold their opponents on average to 54.1 points per game and a 34% field goal efficiency. They get after it defensively. They like to slow the game down. They like to control the tempo as much as they can with the shot clock being what it is. And that's how they have accumulated that 17-1 mark and number 7 ranking. They went from unranked all the way up the standings in a hurry after last year's 19-win season. It is also a local showdown of sorts. If you are a high school basketball fan, you're going to recognize some names on both sides as 3 players who were pretty significant to the success of the Anderson County girls program are featured in this one. Sophie Smith, the point guard for Georgetown College. She averages 7.2 points, 5.7 assists per game. Her assist to turnovers ratio, a sterling 2.9. She leads the team in minutes played at 32.8. In fact, she's the only Tiger averaging over 29 minutes per game. She'll be playing against a couple of her former high school teammates in the starting lineup. Rachel Satterley, a junior out of Lawrenceburg. She averages 10.3 points per game, 4.7 rebounds for Freed-Hardeman. Shoots at 40% from behind the three-point arc and 78% from the free throw line. In her last 2 games, she has totaled 31 points and made 6 threes. And Jenna Satterley, also a freshman on that roster as well. So there's a little bit of a local flavor there, even for Freed-Hardeman. The rest of the Georgetown starting lineup around Sophie, you'll find Tiani McDaniel having just an All-American type year. She went off for 27 the other night against the Bethel University Wildcats in a 97 to 78 win. Georgetown earned that one at the free throw line. They were 32 for 39 as a team from the charity stripe. McDaniel averages 18.6 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 1.9 steals, and shoots 76% from the line. Over her past 9 games, 22.4 points per game. Jordan Rogers, she came to life in the second half the other night. She will be a starter, a projected starter in this one, along with Abby Varney, who has started the past 11 games for the Tigers, and the veteran C.J. Callie Jackson, a fifth-year senior for these Tigers. For Freed-Hardeman, in addition to Rachel Satterley, players to watch include Carissa Curtis, 13.5 points per game. Kaylee Odom had 21 in a win over Bethel. That's a common opponent early in the conference season. Freed-Hardeman handled Bethel with ease, 86-59. Odom averages 11.7 points and 5.5 rebounds. This is a good free throw shooting team. You look at their starting lineup, 80%, 80%, 78%, 70%. Carissa Curtis, 13.5 points per game. Kelsey Bender, 6.9 points, 5.3 rebounds. Brooklyn Crouch, 6.9 points, 3.1 assists. Over her last 3 games, she has averaged double-digit scoring. As we said, Jeff Nickel in his 4th season after coming down from Shawnee State, where he built the Bears into a powerhouse with 8 consecutive NAIA tournament appearances. Georgetown has been a fixture in the NAIA tournament since he has come to town. Abby Feuchter also in her 4th season as an assistant, as she made the move with Coach Nickel. Keith Currens in his 7th season, and Doran Martin in his 2nd. Off the bench for Georgetown, we already talked about the starting lineup, but Anna Long, a player to watch. Kayra Freeman had a big night against Bethel. Izzy Lamparty, 5'11", and getting back into the starting lineup after dealing with a broken nose. AJ Stevenson, senior, who is dangerous from beyond the three-point line. And Trinity Clock, a 6'1" senior transfer a couple of years ago from Radford University. This is a Georgetown roster with 5 former Division I players. It just shows you the talent level that Coach Nickel has brought to town. We are just about ready for the national anthem, and the introduction of the starting lineup is going to be, to be honest, a bipartisan crowd here today. Freed-Hardeman travels well. It is still a crowd that is not going to have the benefit of a big student section. The undergrads will be back in town on Monday. So this 2-game set at home has not featured a big local cheering section, at least from the younger set for the Georgetown Tigers. So the Tiger fans that are here are going to have to make a lot of noise. If you're in the area and you're in the sound of my voice, I'd encourage you to get out here and be here live. Get here as quickly as you can. Get some good seats on this side where I'm sitting high above courtside and see some great NAIA basketball. But I'm happy to be bringing it to you. For those of you who can't do that, we will take a pause for the Star Spangled Banner and be back with you for the player introductions. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Davis-Reid Alumni Gym. I'm Cal Oaks, delighted to be bringing you Georgetown home basketball all season long in the Mid-South Conference. This is doubleheader number 2 of 6 for the Tigers. Brooklyn Crouch being introduced as a starter for Freed-Hardeman, along with Lawrenceburg's Rachel Satterley. Carissa Curtis, Kelsey Bender, and Kaylee Odom. The other 4 starters for Freed-Hardeman out of the Volunteer State. Tiani McDaniel hails from Las Vegas, Nevada. She started her career at Northern Arizona. Jordan Rogers out of Franklin, Ohio, came to us from Charleston Southern. Sophie Smith, the veteran out of Anderson County High School in the Berg. Abby Varney from Glasgow, Kentucky, and Barron County High School, and Callie Jackson out of Mayfield, Kentucky, Graves County High School. Jeff Nickel, 4 wins away from 300 for his career. He has accumulated 82 of those, already averaging more than 20 wins per season here at Georgetown College. He is 296 and 94 overall. As we mentioned, Freed-Hardeman in Abby Stutt's first season as head coach, 17-1. They are 1-1 in the Mid-South Conference. Georgetown a perfect 2-0 with 14 consecutive wins overall. Just about ready to jump it here at Davis-Reid. So glad you could join us on this warm but overcast and rainy Saturday afternoon with the promise of some snow to come tonight. Take it easy. Get yourself a bite to eat, something to sip, and watch some beautiful NAIA basketball this afternoon. Tap is won by the Tigers. Abby Varney with it, and now Sophie Smith to set the offense. Smith will look to McDaniel, top of the key. McDaniel drives, rolls it around the rim and out. Rebound comes down to Freed-Hardeman and Crouch. Brooklyn Crouch up ahead quickly. Carissa Curtis stops and pops from 3. That is way off the mark. Varney with the rebound. Varney kicks it to Smith on the wing. Back to Varney. Varney drives to the foul line, spins, kicks it back out to McDaniel. McDaniel will drive to the top of the key and drop it off to Rogers. Varney thought about a 3. Now she'll drive to the foul line. Work it to Smith. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Smith, the drive, lost the handle out of bounds, but it went off of Freed-Hardeman as Kaylee Odom was there, and it was off of her foot. They'll have 2 seconds to shoot. Tigers inbounding from underneath their basket. Smith, they've got to get it off in a hurry. She can't find anyone. Don't want to burn a timeout here. McDaniel, I think they're unaware of the shot clock, and Rogers could not turn and fire in time. That's a 30-second violation against the Tigers. No score, 1 minute into this one. Georgetown and Freed-Hardeman showdown in the top 10. Lions at number 7, Tigers at number 8. Here is Brooklyn Crouch. Picks up her dribble, finds Rachel Satterley. Now Kelsey Bender lost the handle, tie up on the floor. Varney will crash to the floor to force the possession arrow. Rachel Satterley dug it out for the Lions, and they will keep possession. Resetting the offense is Crouch. Take a shot over the top of Jackson that is good, so Crouch puts the Lions on the board 2-0. Abby Varney finds Jordan Rogers. Rogers bounces it to McDaniel. McDaniel in front of the Freed-Hardeman bench will drive and kick, but travels. She's not sure about that, but the officials say yes. 8:14 to play, first quarter. Freed-Hardeman on top 2-0 early, and you're seeing already how the Freed-Hardeman defense will slow you down, keep you below what you're accustomed to doing. Throwing it inside, and now back out to Curtis. Curtis to Odom. Odom over Jackson is good. So it's 4-0. Varney for three. Yes. Tigers on the board for three at the 7:38 mark. Kaylee Odom to Brooklyn Crouch. Crouch, the drive, stop, spin, finds Bender. Odom setting the hard screen. Here's Satterley on the drive, right baseline. Can't get it to go, but she is fouled and will walk to the line. 2 shots for the Lions. Foul on Jordan Rogers, her first, team's first, at the 7:16 mark of the first period. Rachel Satterley out of Lawrenceburg, averaging 10.3 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, rolls it off the back rim and good. 5-3. Satterley misses the second, rebound to Jackson. Jackson up ahead to McDaniel quickly. McDaniel will drop it back to Varney. Varney will drive, tried to go up and under, blocked by Bender. It will stay with GC. Good to see former sports information director Jenny Elder in the house today, taking photographs in the Tigers gear underneath the basket. And McDaniel on the drive, slapped on the arm, will go to the line with a chance to tie this one. Tiani McDaniel, 18.6 points per game for the 5'9" senior. Can't get the first one to go down. She'll have another. Good crowd in the house already compared to Thursday night when Georgetown swept the Bethel Wildcats. McDaniel sinks the second. Tigers trail 5-4 early in this one. Brooklyn Crouch across the half-court stripe. Bender bounces it to Crouch. Crouch inside to Odom. Odom trying to post up on Jackson. Gets it knocked out of her hands by Varney. Smith picks it up. Fast break for the Tigers. Freed-Hardeman does a good job getting back. Smith thought about the three-pointer. Now deals to Varney. Varney lob to Jackson. Tough spot for CJ. And she steps on the baseline. Another turnover for the Tigers early in this one. 6:35 to go first quarter. Freed-Hardeman leads 5-4. I think you can see the time and score on your screen today, which will help me out tremendously. Bender couldn't find anyone cutting to the basket. She will hand off to Crouch. Crouch back to Bender. Bender inside to Odom. Odom puts an elbow in the breadbasket of Jackson. Fans wanted a foul. Didn't get it. Odom missed. Jackson rebounded. Throws it away, however, as Crouch picks up the steal. Satterley has it now. Finds Crouch, the trailer. Crouch, a little left-handed scoop shot is no good. Rebound, Smith. Offense is both slow going early. Rogers, the fake, the drive, forces the shot that's no good, and the rebound comes down to Curtis. Curtis deals inside to Odom for the easy layup. So Freed-Hardeman did a good job in the half-court offense after an exchange of ugly possessions there. McDaniel with it. Three-pointer from Varney. She hit one earlier. Tries a heat check there, front rim. And Curtis on the rebound. Carissa Curtis drops it off the Crouch. Freed-Hardeman leads by 3 with the ball. 5:10 to play first quarter. Deflected there by Smith to Rogers. Rogers back with it for the Tigers with a chance to get within one or maybe tie. Abby Varney drives to the hoop. Freed-Hardeman wanted to travel. She missed the shot anyway, and Odom picked up the carom. Slow pace across the Tiger logo for Brooklyn Crouch. Crouch, hesitation, dribble, drive, kicks it out to the right wing for an attempted three that is no good. The shot by Curtis, the rebound by Smith. Up ahead quickly to Varney. Kicks to Rogers for a tying three, in and out. And the rebound to Bender. Not the Tiger offense we're accustomed to seeing as advertised for the Lions defense. Both teams waiting out that media timeout. There is a Euro step and a miss by Crouch. And a rebound for Smith. Smith will take it end to end, drop to Rogers for another three-point attempt that's no good. Bender with the board. Under the 4-minute mark. Georgetown offense, ragged early in this one. 4 points through the first 6 minutes. Got to get back and defend. That's the one thing that will never betray you when your offense does. And there's the walk for Odom. And we will have our first stoppage in play with 3:36 to go in the first quarter. 7-4 Freed-Hardeman. Georgetown 1 for 8 from the field with 4 turnovers. So you're seeing that Freed-Hardeman defense that holds opponents to 54 points per game doing what it does. Seven to 4 at the first media timeout of this one. The Tigers just having trouble on the offensive end. Not a lot of second chances. In fact, none that I can recall to this point. Total rebounds are 6 to 6, but they're all off the defensive glass. So that's 12 possessions and only 4 points to show for it. One field goal. A three-pointer by Varney, and then the free throw by McDaniel, 1 of 2. To make this a 3-point margin at the 3:36 mark of the first quarter. Tigers will have it. We see our first of Kara Freeman, A.J. Stevenson, Izzy Lamparty, so wholesale substitutions on along as well, the drive and kick. An open three for Smith for the tie is no good. A rebound comes down to Bender. Jeff Nickel trying to see what mostly a new 5 can do. The only starter in the lineup is Smith. There's a steal by Long. Freeman made hay at the foul line the other night. Double-digit scoring against Bethel. Long to Smith. Smith, the drive, the hesitation, and she will get called for the carry. That was easy to see from here. Freed-Hardeman defense just frustrating Georgetown right now with 2:54 to play in the first quarter. This offense that averages 86 points per game, 6th in the country, held to 4 points through 7 minutes. Fortunately for Georgetown, they have held their own on the defensive end. Jenna Satterley is in the game for the first time, so we have both Satterleys on the court. There's another turnover, an offensive foul. They're going to get that one on Lily Key, so we see substitutions for the first time for both sides. This is a tall Freed-Hardeman team. Key is 6'2". At least off the bench, they have some length. Deep three for Stevenson, no good. Rebound comes down to Bender. Tigers one and done, and a lot of clunkers so far. Bender stops, gets it to Key. Key will hand off to Crouch. Crouch, the drive into traffic, will draw the foul. Out of control, but the Tigers couldn't get set, and the foul will be on Lamparty, her first. Neither team in danger of the bonus right now. 2 fouls on each side. This is a shooting foul, however, for Crouch. Makes the first, 8-4. Freed-Hardeman. Looking like Freed-Hardeman again so far today. Gave up 77 points the other night at Cumberland's, but 9-4 here with less than 2 minutes to go in the opening stanza. On a long, the drive, the scoop, off the glass and in, and a chance to make it a 3-point play and ignite the Georgetown offense. On a long from Miamisburg, Ohio, played her first college ball at D1 Binghamton University. Used to play against my University of Maine Black Bears up there. Now she's here at Georgetown College. Completes, no, does not complete the 3-point play. The announcer's jinx. 9-6. Bender drops it off to Rachel Satterley. Rachel Satterley spins at the left elbow. Finds Jenna. Rachel dribbles all along the baseline. Gets it to Jenna. Jenna draws the foul. The Satterleys making their presence felt, and Jenna Satterley will go to the line at the 1:14 mark. Anderson County, maybe 40 minutes down the road, about 15, 20 minutes from where I am in Versailles. And Jenna Satterley, the freshman, makes the first. She was a thorn in the side of Great Crossing High School when I saw her play last year and the year before that. Probably even deeper into the archives when Scott County had a powerful program on the girls' side. Jenna Satterley makes both, 11-6. Kara Freeman. It's on along. McDaniel back in the game. Couldn't have her on the bench for very long. And she's Georgetown going to get called for the offensive foul. They're going to get Trinity Clock for the moving screen. Jeff Nickel not happy because he has seen it on both ends of the floor. Exactly 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Freed-Hardeman 11-6. And they call it both ways police, making their voice heard. Satterley to Satterley. Rachel, drive, lob, tipped by Stevenson, but caught on the fly by Key, who lays it up and in. 13-6 Lions. McDaniel with it. Finds Stevenson. All the threes have been pretty well contested. That one is deep from long. Front rim no good. Rebound comes down to the Lions, and they don't have to shoot until the horn. Brooklyn Crouch got the rebound, now sets the offense. 8 seconds, shot clock off. Working it inside to Key. The turnaround is good. All Freed-Hardeman in the first quarter of this one. 15-6. Cal Oaks back with you at Davis-Reid Alumni Gym. Freed-Hardeman showing why they're one of the best defensive teams in the nation, holding Georgetown to 6 points in that first quarter, and the shooting numbers were ugly. I mean, gross. 2 for 12 overall, 1 for 7 from 3, 6 turnovers to boot. Only saving grace was 5 turnovers for the Lions. A.J. Stevenson spins toward the hoop. Well defended, but she gets it to go up and in on the left side. Went at Rachel Satterley and found a way. Tigers not having any success from outside. Got to find a way to get to the rack and open things up a little bit. Step back three for Rachel Satterley is no good. Rebound to Clock. Stevenson tried to skip it to McDaniel and telegraphed it and got intercepted by Jenna Satterley, who goes the distance. 17-8. Kara Freeman now gets it knocked out of her hands. Again, it's Jenna Satterley. One-on-one with McDaniel. Lays it up, no good. Rachel Satterley, no, excuse me. That is Bender on the rebound. The silver numbers on the black uniforms. Tough on these older eyes, but we'll try to make it work. Smith and Jackson checking back into the game. Stevenson and Freeman will sit down, so Jeff Nickel trying to find the right combination right now. Bender at the line for 2 to try to make this a double-digit lead, 17-8. First one off the rim, no good. Anna Long called for the foul, first of the quarter for either side. Bender's second free throw is good, 18-8 Lions. Sophie Smith with it now. Clock will try to screen and roll toward the basket. Instead, Smith will dump it to Jackson. Now Long on the drive. She's been successful once doing that, not this time. Well defended. Rebound torn down by Curtis. Jenna Satterley hands it off to her sister. Picked off by McDaniel. Takes it the other way, but getting back and playing defense beautifully and blocking that one was Bender. So when you make a mistake on the offensive end, as the Lions did, hustle back and get it done. Smith bounces it into Clock, who finds Jackson. Got to find some holes in this Freed-Hardeman defense. McDaniel will shoot over it from the foul line. No good, front rim. Everything's off the front rim so far for the Tigers. Back cut by Curtis. Didn't lead to a shot. Rachel Satterley goes around McDaniel. Too strong off the glass. Rebound, though, by Bender. Finds Jenna Satterley. Jenna Satterley, short drive and shot in the paint, no good. Another offensive rebound. But it's going to be a turnover as Odom stepped on the line. They might have called 3 seconds, actually. You don't see that much anymore. Tigers trail by 10. Trying to take a bite out of it here in the second quarter. They'll do it with a 3. Jackson, no good. Clock, offensive rebound. McDaniel will try from beyond the arc, and that one is finally good. Only the second three-pointer to go down for the Tigers in this first half. Makes it 18-11. Tiger faithful and the Tiger bench trying to exhort this defense, because that's where this offense often starts, getting out in the open floor. Looked like a travel, didn't call it, and Odom benefits with the layup. 20-11. Drive by Anna Long, spin and one. They'll call the foul on Kelsey Bender, her second. Long will get her second chance at a three-point play. Missed the free throw the first time around. Long true this time to get it back to a half dozen, 20-14. Bender drops it off to Jenna Satterley. Intercepted by McDaniel, all alone for the layup to get it to 4. 20-16, Tigers on a little bit of a run, 8-2. Finally, some signs of life from the Georgetown offense. Curtis finds Odom. Odom well defended by Smith from behind, knocks it out of her hands. Picked up by Clock, chance to cut it to 2 or maybe 1. Smith drops it to McDaniel. T-Mac for 3, yes sir! 20-19, timeout on the court. They're gonna say she was on the line for that one? No.
30-second timeout, Freed-Hardeman extended to immediate timeout.
It is an 11-2 run. And with 5:56 to play, the Lions couldn't afford to wait any longer. We see the scoreboard, the time and score are out right now, so I'll do my best to keep you abreast of what that is. It's 20-19 Freed-Hardeman right now with 5:47 to play in the first half. But the Tigers are on an 11-2 binge after going down by double digits. Inside to Odom, trying to post up on Clock. Good defense by Trinity. No good. A rebound, CJ. Chance for the Tigers to take the lead. Sophie Smith with it. Looking for Clock. Now drops it to McDaniel. Good ball movement by the Tigers, but a pass there from Long inside the Clock. Got knocked away and intercepted. Lions on the run. Seeing our first of Chumley, who drops it off to Curtis for the easy drive and deuce to end the run. 22-19, right at 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. McDaniel for the tie. Her third three-pointer of the second quarter. 22 apiece, 4:45 to play. It is Tiani McDaniel's world right now. There is the scoop shot off the drive, no good. Rebound McDaniel, chance to take the lead for the Tigers. McDaniel, the floater off the rim, no good. Rebound, Freed-Hardeman. Brooklyn Crouch for the Lions. They have led this one all the way. But now it's tied at 22. A left elbow jumper is good for Odom to restore the advantage for Freed. 24-22. 4 minutes to play, second quarter. Callie Jackson finds Long. Long on the drive, left side. Now kicks it to Smith. Smith inside to Clock. Clock the hook for the tie, off the glass, no good. But she is fouled by Odom and will go to the line. Again, the scoreboard clock is out. The camera is out, excuse me, so I will try to keep you up to date. Freed-Hardeman 24, Georgetown 22, 3:49 to play here in the second quarter. Trinity clock with 2 free throws to try to tie it again for Georgetown. Clock makes the first. 6'1" senior out of Germantown, Maryland, played at Radford University before arriving here on campus. In the Commonwealth, clock 2 for 2 from the line, ties it at 24 apiece. 3:49 to play, second quarter. A little bit of pressure from the Tigers now. Smith and Long will try to trap Crouch. Crouch passes successfully out of it. That is a tough move by Chumley. Ellie Chumley, a 5'10" junior, puts the Lions back in front. Smith to Long. Jackson in the corner. Jackson inside the clock. Clock hook, no good. Rebound comes down to Curtis. 3:06 to play, second quarter. In trouble on the baseline was Jenna Satterley. Curtis the 3. Front rim no good. Rebound Jackson. Varney tries to spin for the tie. Yes, off the front rim. A little kiss off the metal to make it 26 apiece. Jenna Satterley running the offense. Freshman out of Lawrenceburg now finds Crouch. Crouch guarded by Varney. 2:30 to play. Satterley to Chumley. They tried to lob it into Chumley, and I think they're going to get clock. It'll be the first on clock. 2:16 to play on the clock. Trinity clock is KLOCK. 26 apiece. Chumley has to go get it. And mishandled as Chumley tried to get it to Crouch. A turnover for the Lions and another chance for the Tigers to take the lead with 2:10 remaining in the second quarter. Smith jogs it up across the logo for the Tigers. Looking inside for Clock, fighting hard for position. She's got it. Clock spins. Couldn't get the shot to fall, but her opposite number, Key, will commit the foul, and Clock will toe the line with a chance to reclaim the lead, or claim the lead for the first time all day, at the 1:57 juncture. Rachel Satterley checks back in for the Lions. Clock puts Georgetown in front, 27-26. And a 2-point lead. The Freed-Hardeman fans wanted to say Clock's foot was on the line. Officials didn't call it. Georgetown 28, Freed-Hardeman 26. 1:50 to play in the first half. Chumley handles the ball well at 5'10" up top. Now drops it off to Crouch. Crouch guarded by Long. Inside, intercepted by Clock. So Georgetown has tightened up the defensive clamps. Inside to Jackson, who draws the foul from Chumley. And the clock will stop with 1:28 as CJ will go to the line for 2 and a chance to extend this newfound advantage for the Tigers. Freed-Hardeman fans making their voices heard here down at courtside. Jackson misses the first free throw. First foul on Chumley, 4th on the team, so the Tigers will be in the bonus for the remaining 1:28 of this second quarter. Jackson sinks the second. He said how efficient the Tigers were at the free throw line the other night against Bethel, 32 for 39. They lead by 3 after Jackson makes 1 of 2. Varney picking up the defense on Jenna Satterley. That is a tough screen, and falling to the floor as a result was Chumley. No call. Jenna Satterley drives toward the baseline. She's defended by Clark. They're going to get Sophie Smith for that foul against Chumley. 1:03, clock stops. No bonus yet for the Lions. Tigers lead at 29-26. They trailed by as many as 10. It's been 21-8 since that point. Tiani McDaniel brought the Tigers back to life with 3 3-pointers. She is on the bench right now. Kaylee Odom, not much time on the shot clock. It is knocked out of her hands. Smith with it. Georgetown trying to continue the run. Clock on the run, lays it up and in. Smith with the dime, 31-26, 33 seconds to play. It's Georgetown's defense that has come to life against the vaunted Freed-Hardeman defense, but not there, as Lily Key had easy money at the rim. 31-28, shot clock is off, 13 seconds in the first half. Sophie Smith looks to the bench. Jeff Nickel telling her when to go, 7. Smith, drive, hesitation, draws the contact, goes to the line, 2.2 seconds to play. It's been all Georgetown in the second quarter since falling behind 18-8 early. A productive second stanza. That's the 15th foul of the quarter. Bonus probably isn't going to come into play here with 2.2 seconds remaining. Sophie Smith is good with her first to make it a 2-possession lead, 2.2 seconds from the half. Smith makes both, 33-28. Lions with 2.2 seconds. Jenna Satterley will have to let it go from beyond half court. Way off the mark. Your halftime score, Georgetown 33, Freed-Hardeman 28. We'll have some stats. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with you. Your first half scoring. Finds Tiani McDaniel with 12. Those 3 3-pointers, a big factor in that. Trinity Clock 6. On a long 5. Abby Varney 5. Sophie Smith 2 with 4 assists and 4 rebounds. AJ Stevenson 2 and Callie Jackson 1 for the total of 33. Lily Key and Kaylee Odom lead the Lions with 8 points apiece. Brooklyn Crouch with 4. Jenna Satterley 4. Carissa Curtis 2. Rachel Satterley 1. And Kelsey Bender 1 for the total of 28. Tigers warmed up to 38.5% from the field, 10 of 26 after the atrocious start. They're 4 for 11 from the three-point arc, 9 for 12 from the line. Their 9 turnovers counted by Freed-Hardeman's 11. And Freed-Hardeman has not made a 3 in 5 attempts. They are 44% from the field overall. Total rebounds, Lions +5. They got a little bit of a size advantage when Clock isn't in the game, but Clock certainly helped to neutralize that in the second period. We'll be back with you in about 12 minutes with second half action. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Welcome back to Davis-Reid Alumni Gym. A tale of two quarters. As Georgetown College struggled mightily in the first half against this vaunted, in the first quarter, against this vaunted Freed-Hardeman defense. Could not buy a bucket, settled for a lot of threes that weren't falling. Freed-Hardeman built an 18-8 lead early in the second quarter. Tigers turned it up after that, outscored the Lions overall 27-13 in that second period to open a 33-28 advantage going into the second half. Both teams have some depth. Bench scoring 13-12 in favor of the Tigers. There were 3 ties and 1 lead change in that first half. Defenses did what these two defenses do, created a lot of havoc. The Tigers forced 11 turnovers. They committed 9. Rebounds 17-12 in favor of the Lions, who were 11 for 25 from the field. Georgetown was 10 for 26. Big difference was at the three-point stripe. Georgetown heated up to 4 for 11. Freed-Hardeman, a little more of an interior style game that they play. They were 0 for 5. Out of that 4 for 11 for Georgetown, T. McDaniel was 3 for 3. All in the second quarter. Just about ready for second half action. Lions coming in today ranked 7th in the nation. Tigers number 8. Lions coming off that loss at University of the Cumberlands on Thursday night. The Tigers have won 14 straight. And they're off to the best start in program history at 16-1 overall. 2-0 in the uber-talented Mid-South Conference. Campbellsville, the only other undefeated team, at 3-0 in the league and 15-0 overall. Brooklyn Crouch with it for the Lions. Rachel Satterley. That is a 3 in the right corner. We just said they were 0 for 5, and Carissa Curtis put a stop to that to get the Lions within 2. Sophie Smith to Abby Varney. Drive by Jordan Rogers, a kick to Varney. Varney drives the baseline. She will go to the line as Odom thought she went straight up, but got Varney on the arm. And Varney will step to the line. She did not go there in the first half. She makes the first one here. Had 1, 2, and 1, 3 for a total of 5 points. Hits the free throw here to put the Tigers up by 3. Varney makes both. The freshman out of Barron County has immediately made her presence felt. For the Tigers, once again have a 2-possession lead. First minute of the third quarter in this top 10 showdown in NAIA. Kelsey Bender was in trouble for a moment, but found Odom. Odom tries to hand it off to Satterley. It's taken away by Rogers. And they grab Rogers on her way to the hoop. They'll get Satterley for the foul. Second of the period for the Lions. It's Rachel Satterley's first of the game. Jackson up and under. 37-31 as Callie Jackson gets her first field goal of the afternoon. Dishing inside, Bender almost lost the handle, had to get it back to Curtis. Heat check 3 is no good. Rebound, long rebound to Rogers. Jordan with it. Jordan will drive and try to get it to Smith, but it's taken away by Satterley. Rachel now. Guarded by her former high school teammate, Sophie Smith. Curtis will screen and roll by Bender. Wild attempt at a layup is no good. Smith came away with it. Varney to McDaniel for her fourth three. No, off the mark. Freed-Hardeman with the ball, trailing by 6, 7:48 remaining in the third quarter. That shot is no good. McDaniel rebound. McDaniel going to get called for the offensive foul as Satterley crashed to the floor. First on Tiani. Georgetown 37, Freed-Hardeman 31. We've got the time and score back on the screen. I want to thank Jason for fixing that for me. Flying solo up here. Students hard to come by as they start class on Monday. Once again, Bender having trouble inside as CJ on the defense. And Smith there for the rebound. There's a deep three from Varney that's good. Biggest lead of the afternoon is 9 for the Tigers. Freed-Hardeman led this one by as many as 10, but it has swung just as hard the other way. Directing traffic is Crouch. Top of the key, good by Curtis. It's a 2 this time to cut it back to 7. Jordan Rogers drops it for Varney. Varney drives inside the arc, spins, the little scoop, and drawing the foul on Bender, who's had a tough go of it at the other end and now gets called for her third foul. That's going to put Freed-Hardeman in a spot. Abby Varney to the line at the 6:35 mark for 2. Rattles the first one home. Don't forget, 1 versus 2, the men's game coming up at 3 o'clock. Varney misses the second. Rebound comes down to Key, who checks into the game in place of Bender with the 3 fouls. Crouch. Actually, Bender is still in the game. Key checked in for Odom. Bender bounces it to Key. Key back out. And that's going to be an offensive foul. The 4th foul of the game for Kelsey Bender, the 5'10 senior. And she'll be going to the bench for a while. Timeout on the floor. Georgetown 41, Freed-Hardeman 33 on the Tigers Sports Network. Back with you here at Davis-Reid, Cal Oaks, bringing you Georgetown women's basketball. They lead by 8 with the ball. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Trying to get it into Jackson as Varney. And the foul problems continue for the Freed-Hardeman posts. As that will be 5 in the quarter. Bonus for the final 5:57 of this third period, and Jackson will have 2. Rattles in the first. Callie Jackson, 5th-year senior out of Mayfield, misses the second. Graves County High School. But Georgetown gets the offensive board. Jackson with it, 10 on the shot clock. Dishes to McDaniel for the easy deuce. And the lead continues to grow. Rogers picks up the defense in the corner on Satterley. Satterley in traffic, travels. Since the first minute of the second quarter, 36-15. And Georgetown has turned a 10-point deficit into an 11-point advantage. They have the basketball. Abby Varney fakes the 3, drives into traffic, draws the foul, and will go to the line. Lions faithful badgering the officials about the foul disparity. It is possible for one team to foul more than the other, contrary to popular belief. Varney makes both, 46-33. Satterley walking it up against token pressure, and now furious pressure from Long and Varney. They will bounce it inside, I think getting away with the shuffle of the feet, but finally getting a layup to go for the Lions is Lily Key. We are under the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. That Georgetown lead cut back to 11, and now Varney called for steps. Crouch, guarded by Smith, standing at the edge of the Tiger logo. Satterley bounces it inside, no call there, and Odom gets the layup as Varney crashes to the floor. Lead is back down to single digits, 46-37. McDaniel. They wanted steps there to the Freed-Hardeman fans. Don't get it. Jackson thinks about a 3, now deals to Smith. Smith the drive, the bounce pass, tried to force it into Varney on the back cut. Another Tiger turnover. This is danger zone for Georgetown. The lead has been cut back to 9. We know Freed-Hardeman's defensive proclivities. They have held opponents to 54 points per game this season. Now Georgetown well ahead of that rate, but it's been fueled by their defense. In the half court, not necessarily so much. Jenna Satterley finds Rachel. Cross court. There's a 3 from Curtis. No good, but an offensive rebound and a putback and 1. Key, 7-point game. That's the second foul on Trinity Clock on the day, the second on the team this third quarter. Lily Key, awkward shooting motion, but she gets it to work for her. for the traditional three-point play, and now it's a 6-point battle. 46-40. On a long drive, dish to Kara Freeman. Freeman, the tough shot, no good. Rebound Key. Here come the Lions. Satterley to Satterley. Rachel the drive. They're going to call a foul on the floor. Odom leans into Varney. Lions are on a 7-0 run, and they have cut it to 4. Varney thought about a very deep three, decides against it. Discretion the better part of valor there, but a wild attempt at the layup is again no good. Lions have buckled down in the paint. Now they have a chance to get within 2 or maybe 1. Jenna Satterley. Now Rachel Satterley. On a long is going to get called for bumping Key to the floor. And they have evened out the fouls, and the Tiger fans duly noting that. Freed-Hardeman, ball down by 4, 2:45 to go, third quarter. Jenna Satterley deals to Key. Key drops it off for Curtis. Curtis drawing a crowd. Back cut. Key missed the layup. Got her own rebound. Puts it back up and in. The foul gives Freed-Hardeman a chance to get within 1. And the Lions fans, who may outnumber the Tiger fans today, and at least they're louder right now, getting behind their team. Lily Key with a spark off the bench. 9 unanswered points from Freed-Hardeman. And now a conference by the officials. All the things that famously get disputed among the crowd. Steps, moving screens, things of that nature being hollered out at the moment. They're trying to figure out if they ever took the media timeout, which they did not. So now with 2:32 to play, they finally will. Freshman Lily Key, 6'2", has ignited this comeback by the Lions. She will try to complete the three-point play after the media timeout. She does. That's her second in short order. It is a one-point game, folks. Tigers led by 11, actually as many as 13 at one point. Sophie Smith finds on a long drives to the foul line, needs some help, finds it in the person of A.J. Stevenson. They're going to get an offensive foul on Trinity Clock. That's her third foul, and Freed-Hardeman with a possession and a chance to reclaim the lead in this one. Clock will sit down. You have a lineup of Lamparty, Smith, Long, Stevenson, and Freeman right now for the Tigers. Key kicks it to Jenna Satterley for the lead. Inside to Lamparty to reclaim it. Coach Jeff Nickel definitely managing Tiani McDaniel's minutes today. And she has spent some significant time on the bench before making her presence reestablished. Jenna Satterley can't go for the encore, but Lamparty loses the handle, and now a tie-up on the floor. It will stay with the Tigers as Sophie Smith and Jenna Satterley, Lawrenceburg neighbors, went crashing for it. Stevenson, and as if on cue, McDaniel will re-enter. Stevenson will inbound it to Freeman. Now there's another discussion at the scorer's table with one of the officials. Sophie Smith will sit down as McDaniel checks back in. Tigers lead it by 1. The ebb and flow in this one has been substantial. Both teams have owned a double-digit lead at one time or another. And we're still waiting. I don't know if this is a scorebook or substitution question of some sort. Or now they're over talking with Keith Currens and Jeff Nickel. A second official will join the gathering. Abby Feuder will get up from her seat. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. And now both teams will go to the bench. I don't know. This is a game management situation where they call a technical foul or something of that nature. It could be a game changer. So you would hope that's not the case, especially if it goes against the Tigers. The discussions seem to be on the Tigers' side of the table. Both teams are in the bonus to reset this down the stretch of the third quarter. Any foul from here is a two-shot foul until the start of the fourth. We have 1:21 to play in that third period. We can talk about the scoring while we have this break in the action. Tiani McDaniel leads the Tigers with 14, Abby Varney 13, Trinity Clock 6, Anna Long 5, Callie Jackson 4, Sophie Smith 2 with 7 assists and 6 rebounds, Izzy Lamparty 2, AJ Stevenson with 2. Lily Key off the bench, 6'2" freshman, leads Freed-Hardeman with 16, 7 for 8 from the field. 2 traditional three-point plays in this third quarter. Kaylee Odom 12, Carissa Curtis 7, Jenna Satterley 6, Brooklyn Crouch 4, Rachel Satterley 1, Kelsey Bender 1 with the 4 fouls. Has sat for most of the second half to this point. This has been bordering on a 5-minute conversation now. And I think we've got it squared away, whatever it was. And after that delay, we are back. Lamparty draws the contact. She has been the masked avenger a couple of times in this third quarter. After Freed-Hardeman briefly reclaimed the lead, she came back down with a layup and now a chance for two at the line. Clangs home the first. And sinks the second, 50-47. Jenna Satterley tried to dish, got it deflected by McDaniel, picked up by Stevenson. McDaniel on the run, draws the foul from Ellie Chumley, and McDaniel will have a chance to pad the lead. Final minute of this third quarter. It's a clash of wills, clash of styles, as we talked about in the pregame and mentioned the points per game scored for Georgetown and allowed by Freed-Hardeman. It's going to land somewhere in the middle. Georgetown just has to win that tug of war enough to come out on top today. They have gone back on a run at the foul line with 2 by Lamparty and 2 by McDaniel to reclaim the 5-point lead. Satterley finds Odom. Odom tried to force it into Key, and it was taken away by Long. Long to Stevenson. Shot clock, 5 seconds behind the game clock, 20 to shoot. McDaniel the drive. Tigers on the run again. McDaniel the flex. 7-point lead. And a little bump on the far perimeter called against Freeman. And Freed-Hardeman will shoot with 7 seconds left in the period. I don't know what advantage they thought was gained by that small of amount of contact, but they didn't ask my opinion. Jenna Satterley will shoot 2. If you were here for the men's game the other night, Georgetown versus Bethel, heavy breathing was a foul in the second half. Satterley missed the first free throw. Makes the second, 54-46. 7 seconds to shoot for the Tigers. McDaniel trapped in the backcourt, finds Stevenson. Stevenson up ahead to Lamparty. Lamparty off balance. Wedged it in between the rim and the backboard. And with 10 minutes to play, Georgetown has reestablished the lead of a half dozen. Lions will start this fourth quarter with the ball. Odom looking for help in the backcourt. Now she hands off to Rachel Satterley for a deep three that's in and out. Rebound Lamparty. McDaniel. She had 3 threes in the second quarter to resurrect the Tigers. Long loses the handle. Picked up by Curtis. Now it's Crouch. Bounces it into Odom. Odom defended by Lamparty. Cutting to the basket and getting the tough layup. And an and one opportunity is Jenna Satterley. Freeman will get called for the block again. And Jenna Satterley. Freed-Hardeman, the freshmen have been heard off the bench today. Lily Key and Jenna Satterley. 54-51, Satterley cuts the lead in half. Tigers. Stevenson trying to answer with a three. Freeman fights hard for the offensive rebound. Now it's McDaniel. Long, open again, fake the three, the head fake, the rainbow, no good. Lamparty working hard on the glass, gets another offensive carom and draws the contact. Sophie Smith will check back into the game. That is the third foul on Brooklyn Crouch. Each team has one in the fourth quarter. Freeman will inbound after she ties her sneaker. Finds Stevenson. Freeman up top to McDaniel on the right wing. Tries to bounce it into Lamparty. Lamparty double teamed and contact again. It's the fourth foul on Crouch. So 2 starters with 4 fouls for the Lions. That could be a factor down the stretch, although their bench has played superbly. Smith finds McDaniel. McDaniel, the drive, the bounce. Lamparty, no. Rebound, Freeman. No. Rebound again, Freeman. Reset to McDaniel. Smith with it. Stevenson deep on the left wing and draws the bump from Rachel Satterley. Satterley holds her arms out at her sides as if to say, huh? That's her second, team's third. 8:21 to play in regulation. Tigers lead by 3. Both teams, if you're just joining us, both teams have had a double-digit lead wiped out in this game. It's been as advertised, the good one in the top 10 of NAIA and the Mid-South Conference. Georgetown, one of 2 undefeated teams in the conference, along with Campbellsville. Stevenson, 3 in and out. Lamparty over the top to contest that rebound, will get called for the foul. Third on Izzy. Eight minutes to play. Freed-Hardeman chance to tie it with a 3. They led for about 5 seconds of this third quarter, Their biggest lead was 18-8 early in this one. Driving the baseline is Crouch with 4 fouls. Finds Curtis for 3, no good, but an offensive rebound. No, Odom gets a second, a third chance. And now Crouch steps on the baseline. Freeman drive, no good. Rebound Satterley. Rachel Crouch has not left the game with 4 fouls, guarded by McDaniel. And Odom going to get called for the block on the attempted screen. No, excuse me. That'll go on Georgetown. That'll be on McDaniel, her second. As Odom crashed to the floor. Jenna Satterley has it. Shoots in traffic. Bender tried to screen and roll with the 4 fouls, but Satterley drew the contact and will have a chance to cut this to 1. 6:58 remaining in regulation. Number 1 versus 2 men to follow. That'll be on a separate stream. Just back up on your browser and find that one at the appropriate time. It'll be about a 20-minute break in between games. Jenna Satterley, money from the free throw line, cuts it to 1. Sophie Smith across the logo. Finds Abby Varney. Varney, guarded by Curtis, to McDaniel. McDaniel the drive. Draws the foul from Jenna Satterley. Clock stops at 6:45. First on Jenna. Both teams have 4. It's bonus the rest of the way. Every foul from here on out will be 2 free throws in regulation and potentially overtime. McDaniel makes the first, 55-53, Tigers on top. And another. Georgetown by 3. Freed-Hardeman with the ball. It's been a good one. Potential to be a great one down the stretch. That was an ill-advised attempt at the wraparound layup, blocked and rebounded by Lamparty. Now a 3 from Stevenson. No, one of those is going to fall. Knocked to the floor hard is Lamparty, and she'll have to earn it at the line. I get a kick out of the crowd sometimes, using terminology that is nowhere to be found in the rule book. Clock is stopped at 6:18, and Lamparty will have 2. In and out. And the predictable ball don't lie shout. Makes the second to bring it back to a 2-possession game at the 6:18 mark. Lily Key back in the game. She's been the leading scorer off the bench for Freed-Hardeman with 16. Jenna Satterley running the offense right now. Hands off to her sister. Rachel almost lost the handle. Bounces it into Key. Key over Lamparty. Cuts it back to 2. Ahead to McDaniel. McDaniel, drive and kick. Freed fans wanted a walk, didn't get one. McDaniel drive, spin, and there's the makeup call. 5:43 to play. Lamparty gets a nice, well-deserved hand as she sits down. Trinity Clock back on the court. They need the height to match up with Key. Chance to tie or take the lead for the Lions. Inside, Key over Clock to knot it at 57. 18 points for Lily Key. Stopped at the elbow is Stevenson. McDaniel tried to force it into Clock. Clock finds a way to get it back. Smith to McDaniel. McDaniel into Trinity. Puts an elbow into Key. Persistence pays for clock. 59-57. Back and forth we go under the 5-minute mark. Next buzzer should be a TV media timeout, as it were. Key walks. Varney with the hands straight up in the air and the strong defense. 4:41 to play, stoppage in play. Tigers by 2, 4:41 to play. Stevenson inbounds to Smith. Tiani McDaniel to Varney in the corner. Clock trying to post up on Key, making room for Varney. Varney in trouble. Finds it to Smith. 13 on the shot clock. Stevenson the drive. Wild miss. Rebound Key. Rebound Bender, and a foul on the Tigers, and Bender will have a chance to tie it from the line. Both teams in the bonus. Fourth foul on Trinity clock. Kelsey Bender, 5'10" senior. They're trying to tie this for Freed-Hardeman. Rattled in, rattled out, rattled in, rattled out. So Georgetown will maintain the lead. Bender will have a second free throw that bounces in. 59-58. Every possession becoming crucial now. Turnovers have been a big story in this game for both teams. Clock spins, gets it to go. 61-58. Jenna Satterley finds Rachel Satterley. To Key. Handoff to Jenna. Now Bender. Now Rachel for three. Way short. Air ball. McDaniel. Tigers have numbers. McDaniel tries to bounce it ahead to Varney. Lions knock it out of bounds as the Satterleys were both there. Clock stops at 3:32. One possession game. Smith going to get called for an offensive foul out of the Tigers, and Trinity clock is done for the day. That's 5 on Trinity. Clock will depart with 10 points, 3 rebounds. She was 3 for 4 from the field, and she was 4 for 4 from the line. Chance to tie it for the Lions. Instead, they'll go inside. Another layup that was off the mark, and Varney came away with it. A.J. Stevenson has been held in check from three. She'll drive inside the arc and dribble it off the foot of Jenna Satterley. Tigers by 3, 3:03 to play. Stevenson lobs the inbound pass to McDaniel. Lamparty back in the game. It's McDaniel time. She'll drive and kick to Smith. That three's off the mark. Finding it in the corner was Curtis. Lions with it. 2:45 to play. Curtis, deep three for the tie, yes. 61 each. 2:35 to go. A.J. Stevenson directing traffic. Cross court to Smith. Smith inside to Lamparty. Lamparty to Stevenson. Varney for three, off the mark. Long rebound to Smith and a reset. 2:15 to go. McDaniel. Cross court to Stevenson. One time. 64-61. Timeout on the floor with 2:07 to go. Both teams in the bonus with 2:07 to play in regulation. Georgetown 64, Freed-Hardeman 61. With a win, Georgetown would extend its winning streak to 15, extend its best start in school history to 17-1, and stay in a virtual tie with Campbellsville atop the Mid-South Conference. Freed-Hardeman trying to avoid back-to-back losses in the Commonwealth. North of the border for them. Inside the 2-minute mark. Jenna Satterley bounces it to Odom. Now Rachel Satterley. Rachel Satterley drives on Lamparty. Tough shot, but Odom there for the putback. Kaylee Odom makes it a 1-point game, the redshirt junior out of Murfreesboro. 1:30 to go in regulation. Tigers by 1. Smith to Stevenson. Back to Smith. Smith, 8 seconds on the shot clock. On along at the foul line. Finds Lamparty. 4 on the clock. Long for 3. 2-possession game once again. 1:05 to play. 67-63. Tigers trying to bring it home. Final minute. Jenna Satterley, guarded by her neighbor from the Berg. Now finds Rachel Satterley. Smith briefly knocked it out of her hands. Now Bender. Now Rachel Satterley. Satterley drives on Lamparty, who's called for her 4th foul. And Rachel Satterley will have 2 with 40.4 ticks on the clock. That's the 4th foul, as we said, on Izzy Lamparty. Trinity Clock, if you're just joining us, has fouled out. 2 starters with 4 for Freed-Hardeman. One of those is Brooklyn Crouch, who just checked back into the game. And Rachel Satterley will go to the line. Makes the first. To make it a 1-possession game. That's only her 2nd point She has been 0 for 7 from the field. But more importantly right now for the Lions, she is 3 for 4 from the line. 67-65, 36 seconds to go. Sophie Smith, guarded by Crouch, finds McDaniel. 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. A.J. Stevenson hit a big three to break a tie at 61. 6 on the shot clock. Long drives on Rachel Satterley and will pick up the foul with 14.6 seconds to play. Anna Long has 8 points on the afternoon. She is 1 for 2 from the foul line. 2 huge ones here to try to make it a 2-possession game once again. 3rd foul on Rachel Satterley. Anna Long hits the first. 68-65. Anna Long hit a huge 3 moments ago. This would be even bigger. 4-point lead, 69-65. Timeout on the court with 14.6 seconds. So Freed-Hardeman, to extend the game, has to get to the rim in a hurry. What you don't want to do if you're Georgetown is foul. Give them a chance at a 3-point play. I think you let them go the distance. And try to salt this away at the free throw line. The 2 free throws by Long gave them some options defensively. Jenna Satterley will inbound it from her bench. Finds Curtis. Curtis guarded by McDaniel. Blocked by McDaniel. Rebounded by Long. There's the foul on Rachel Satterley, her 4th. And Anna Long can put a nail in this one. T. McDaniel, when the game is on the line. Anna Long, money, 70-65, 8.8 seconds. Misses the second. Timeout, Freed-Hardeman. Clock didn't budge much, 8.2.
Full timeout, Freed-Hardeman.
Freed-Hardeman appears to be out of timeouts if I'm reading the body language correctly at the scorer's table. This is certainly a situation where give Freed-Hardeman an open lane. No need to commit a foul that extends this game or leaves the door ajar. And a timeout by Jeff Nickel after he sees what he thinks Freed-Hardeman was going to do. He'll use one of the 3 that he had remaining, or at least 2. 8.2 seconds. Freed-Hardeman down by 5, so it would take something of a miracle for the Lady Lions to pull this one out. Again, Georgetown trying to win its 15th consecutive game, its 17th on the season, and go to 3-0 in the Mid-South Conference. Tiani McDaniel and Lily Key, each with 20 points, the leading scorer for their respective teams. The Tigers have 4 in double digits. Varney with 13, Long with 11, most of them late. And Clock, 10. She has fouled out. Tigers just going to play it straight defensively. Time of wasting for the Lions. Curtis with a 3, off the rim, no good. And that will do it. The Tigers improve to 17-1 on the season. 3-0 in the Mid-South with a hard-fought 70-65 victory over the plucky Freed-Hardeman Lions. And another 20-burger for Tiani McDaniel, 20 even in this one. And a well-deserved standing ovation from the Georgetown faithful for what was a come-from-behind victory. They trailed by 10 early. They trailed by 1 after giving up their own double-digit lead before putting this one away. We will be back with you for the men's matchup in about 20 minutes. That is on a separate stream. We remind you to back out of your browser, refresh your page, do whatever it takes. But your final score, one final time in this one. Number 8, Georgetown, 70. They'll be moving on up. Number 7, Freed-Hardeman, 65. I'm Cal Oakes. Good afternoon. God bless. We'll see you for the men's matchup momentarily.